Alright, so on Persona, one of the things that you want to remember is that you want to save your Barantian for Persona and you want to save your Fomel for App. These are the compounds that matter most to me because App is hard to do damage and status simultaneously, and Barantian, of course, is your main form of DPS when hitting Persona. Once he's down, you want to ensure that he gets all 3 downs in a row and doesn't start attacking again. In this run, we got App first, so I didn't really have to worry about holding on to Fomel. And as it turns out, Refomelgia is one of the best ways to consistently do damage, build compound, and have a chance at burning this boss. He doesn't get burned here early, so I don't get a chance to blow my Fomel on his wings. Once the bottom bits are broken, you'll notice I'll switch to Grant here to hit the top instead of using my Fomel. You can use Fomel on the wings, which is fine, but most of the time you'll get like half your Fomel off and then the bit will break, so it's just not worth it to me. I'll use it on the face instead because it's consistent, has a chance to burn, as it does here, and is good damage. You want to hit the mask as much as you can while it's down. If you care more about your DPS, you'll use it on the wing, but I care more about the MPA going fast. We don't want App moving all that much. He's one of the more mobile versions. Next, we got Double. There's nothing you can do here if you get Double second, yet you get like 1/10 of a second to hit this stupid thing with, what's that tech called? Robarda? I think it's Robarda. But anyhow, if you are the only force, you get to do this little strategy here, which is tapping the first 3 ticks of Ilbarda and charging 4 through 7. If there are multiple forces, you don't want to do that because you'll mess up the flow of the Ilbardas. He got frozen very, very early, so I get my 1 Ilbarda off and then focus on building compound. That way all the bits get broken early, and I use my compound on the face again after all the bits are broken. This time I use Xandion. Again, you don't want to use Barantian on this boss, especially second, because you want to ensure that Persona goes down as fast as possible once you get the panic off. The rest of this fight is I think I was using Ilgrants, or I'm looking. No, okay, I switched to Grants. You want to be using Grants on more mobile enemies. Especially Persona in like a pub or something, because Persona moves around so much, you want to stay far back and hit with something consistent. Ilgrants will usually just miss, especially if you have it crafted for damage, like you should, because it's slower. So I use Ilgrants here with my damage rod. You can use no Grants if you want to. But you'll notice I pop Photon Flare, use I think it's Rumegged with the balls around you. Stand next to him and just pump Ilgrant's damage. It's actually the best DPS. It's very consistent. As long as you have Photon Flare Short Charge active, you want to be pumping in Ilgrants like this. Then I use my Barantian afterwards to ensure that he still, gets down. Each one of these little chest phases break, right? Here it lags, but it would have been exactly the same regardless. I think I get my whole compound off that lag. It's pretty silly. And here you go. This is the chest phase. If you want to be super greedy DPS, you'll notice I'm standing right next to this little ball thing, and hitting it with my, what's it called? I keep forgetting. I hit the ball with my balls, and then I use Fomel on the chest and Grants. If you don't have Fomel, you just use Grants. Because that's the only thing that'll hit it. If you jump and use little Grants, it might hit it. I haven't really tested it. Usually he's dead about here, and then you'll notice, yeah, he does actually go to the center here. If you have a compound, you blow it here. I do not have a compound, all 3 of mine were on cooldown. You're supposed to stand close to him and use little Grants if you don't have a compound, but I was already all the way out here, so I didn't feel like moving up. And there you go, Persona in a nutshell. And I'll save you the trouble. No, I don't get drops, again, because this game hates me!